Was that it? That is the question we are looking to answer today as price finally shows at least a near-term pullback. Essentially, we came into the session looking for some type of consolidation, some type of correction within price, given that we are now, after today, 8 consecutive days higher. So definitely due for some type of correction that can occur, as I've mentioned before, either through time or through price. Through time, you just show some consolidation, a bit of chop. Through price, it's obviously going to be an actual pullback. Now, today, as we pushed into session highs off the open, you don't have much follow through on the long there. Coming into 10 a.m., you do start to see a bit of weakness, and then it's just a slow grind lower before eventually seeing a decent move here kind of mid-morning, late morning once that overnight low was taken out. Now, the thing is, we pretty much tested the 50 MA, and that marked the session low, not even a break of prior day low, not even a test of the 4370 level. So a very, very shallow pullback, now trading back up into that 4400 area. The thing I do want to note is that when markets are turning, it definitely can take a few days. Remember all of these prior bounces, when you start to roll over, it takes, 3, 4, 5 days. And where traders get in trouble is actually when the markets are starting to turn. It takes some time. It's easy to be premature. If you're thinking this needs to pull back and you're loading shorts over the past couple of days, you're probably going to get run over if you're not staying nimble. So that has kind of been the theme for the week, is just staying nimble, like I mentioned on Monday, because of the fact that we are testing this daily pivot. This is a major daily pivot. So you're going to have a lot of market participation in this area as price kind of decides where it wants to head next. Now, none of this is to be predictive in any way. We simply use the chart patterns as a way to manage risk and react to what price is showing us. So with that in mind, what are we looking at into tomorrow? Well, pretty much the same watch. I'm going to be looking at how price trades versus this 4400 level. It's a major psychological level that I want to keep an eye on. And beyond that, I am now more focused on the near-term range. So bulls, or buyers rather, are going to be looking to defend last Friday's November 3rd, that high. You can see the bid that we had there from yesterday, pull back into Friday's high, bounce into fresh session highs. Today, a bit of a move back into that prior range, but near-term volume point of control, good amount of buying here, and we are back into the 4400 area. So location is pretty tricky still, simply because we have that major daily pivot overhead, but we do have a lot of interested buyers below. So before we really start to get even a slight bit bearish, we need to see this near-term range breaking down, right? Doesn't mean you can't be tactical in your shorts here and there, but it does mean that we need to, make sure we're not coming into the session with too much of a bearish expectation. So that is pretty much ES as far as tomorrow is concerned. I'm just going to be looking at 4400 and that 4370 level. Now, as a reminder, if 4370 fails, if we go to the regular trading hours chart, if we start to see a break of Friday's low, of Monday's low, you do have that big unfilled gap down there. So that is definitely going to be a trade that we want to be watching, a trade that we likely want to be involved with if that gap is going to fill. Now, there's no guarantee that it fills. Price could continue to drift higher here. That's kind of what we're seeing. If you take a look at the structure, just look at the structure from this week so far, we're just talking about a series of higher lows, right? We've not even managed to break prior day low on any of the action from Friday or even the days prior. So this is just consecutive legs higher. So we'll see how it materializes. Definitely, I maintain the opinion that we are due for, some type of correction, but the argument could be made that the action that we're seeing this week is that correction. And the reason I say that is because so far, past 3 days, we've only seen half ATR moves. ATR is average true range. So if ES normally moves 60 points in a day. We just have 30-point movers here and there. And so really, really tight action, can be challenging to trade, again, if you're not staying nimble. So main watch ES tomorrow, 4,400 as far as NQ is concerned. Oh, back to ES really quick. The other thing I wanted to point out here on SPY, this is the ETF. You want to keep an eye on this high right through here, 438. We had that posted as today's R1. And again, the significance of this level, if you're familiar with market structure, this is the most recent lower high. So once this lower high is taken out, you do have a change in character on the daily chart, and that's going to show that bulls are now in control of this daily chart. So 438 is a significant level on SPY. Definitely keeping an eye on that level. That is what you want to be watching there. As far as NQ and QQQ are concerned, NQ, very similar. We're still right here, right? Still just shy of that most recent lower high. Bulls are looking for a break of that 15,466 level. Whether or not we see it has yet to be seen. Today's action, a good clue this morning, was that NQ showed 2 failures at the prior day high. I was kind of using that as a clue this morning as to whether or not we would show follow through in SPY in ES. As SPY was pressing session highs, NQ was not participating. It's very unlikely that SPY is going to go without the tech names, simply because of how heavily the tech names are weighted within the index. So that's a little clue that I like to personally use. Now it's not 100% effective, but that is something that helped me get in the short for today. So NQ, we're just pretty much going to be looking at today's range. Break of today's range should give some good clues for tomorrow's trading. Now looking at this actual structure here, very similar to what we see in ES. You just have a near-term range, right? Two session range, and that'll be the watch for tomorrow. So if you're bullish, you want to see some buying up through 15,420. And if you're trying to capture the shorts, you need a sustained break below 15,300, and you can pretty much probably get 100 points out of it, if not a bit more there on NQ. So watch today's range. As far as individual names is concerned, I'll be looking at coin. We had this one on watch today, still looking for that same setup up through 89 area. You can see getting pretty tight here near the breakout point. So didn't trigger the move today, but we don't want to take our eyes off this setup just yet. DDOG inside day, pretty strong move yesterday. Expected a bit of follow through today. It did not materialize, so we just want to see if this inside day resolves higher or not. Disney is going to be a post earnings name. This reports after the bell. Kind of an interesting setup here. You do have a bit of a daily range right through here, right? It's now trading near the high of this near term kind of 2 or 3 month range. And so if it can break that 85, 86 level, we could get a move into, you know, daily volume point of control right through here, 88, maybe 90, maybe 92. Now the big picture context is this thing is obviously quite bearish, right? And so we just want to see how that reaction to the earnings is looking. As always, don't gamble. Do not gamble through earnings. We trade and make money following the earnings report, not through earnings. So that's Disney PDD. This is a technical setup looking for strength up through 111, 112. That'll trigger a daily breakout, right? So pretty straightforward. However, it's just a technical setup. We generally like to trade stocks that show a catalyst. No catalyst here, no catalyst. So potentially on watch. We also have RBLX. Clearly some weakness following earnings. We're looking at 40 as a significant level for today. It failed to hold. As part of why when we chatted about it this morning, I didn't want to have it on the list today, as gapping into daily volume point of control. So for tomorrow on the second day trade, we'll just be looking at today's range for a break of today's range. Now Uber on the list today, looking for continuation in this name. Did not really show that continuation move. Bit of an inside day. It did give a slight blip above prior day high. Gonna treat this like an inside day and say watch for, again, strength above 50. So we'll just be rerunning that same idea for tomorrow. And let's revisit ES. I see it is getting a bit of a bid here into the close. So yeah, we're strong versus VWAP. Back up into that prior day high, potentially closing up near session highs. If we look at the 5-minute, there is not a seller in this tape. Sellers are completely absent. Doesn't mean that, you know, it doesn't materialize tomorrow. It's just something we want to be watching for. Okay, so 4,400 main watch on ES. That's about it for the end of day recap. Overall, pretty nice action today, given the conditions, given the scenario that we had to work with. I hope everyone had a great day, and I will see you tomorrow morning for the pre-market prep live stream. Take care.